Okay, don't hit skip before we start today's podcast. I'm really excited. This is a personal, exciting thing for me. I wanted to quickly let you guys know about my upcoming Off the Vine tour called Pour Decisions, Pour, wine will be drank. I'm back on the road for the first leg of our tour. I'm coming through the good old Midwest. For the second half, I'll be headed to the Southeast. So I'm going Columbus, Cleveland, Ohio, Atlanta, Madison, Des Moines, Kansas City, Columbia, Missouri, Tampa, Orlando, Nashville. I'm coming to all you beautiful people. These podcast tours are always a highlight of my year because there's just no other way to put it than it's just pretty damn fun. I get to hang out with you in person. It's just the energy is electric. It's just insane. Like leaving those live podcasts, I'm like, whoa, that felt like an empowerment session. I feel elevated. The vibrations, don't get me started on how high those are. So check out my website, KaitlynBristowe.com, to buy tickets for those who join me. I can guarantee a little dancing, a lot of laughing, wine, lots of wine. Even if you're pregnant. I've had pregnant, sober people come to my show and say it was still fun. They bring their boyfriends, their husbands, and I even see them smiling at the end of it. So let's toast to that. I'll see you on tour. Off the Vine. Well, welcome to Off the Vine.
Thanks.
Hey, thank you so much for having us.
You guys have been on this before. You have,
Yeah,
obviously. But
yeah.
together, have you?
I don't think
I'm
you've
sure.
been.
I don't know.
Oh. It's probably been...
We did like over Zoom probably.
Maybe when we were like first got together.
Something.
Yeah.
Talk to me about Broglow.
Oh my God.
Jared, we got to get you sponsored by Blow. We got to get
Seriously.
an ad.
So listen,
This is your pitch.
My future brother-in-law, we had a family dinner like 2 months ago.
Jared, it was literally 3 weeks ago. His time is so off. It was Dawson's birthday, so it was like 4 weeks ago. He loves to
We
extend
had a
the time.
family dinner
Okay.
4 weeks ago. And my future brother-in-law was sitting there and he was doing dry January, so he looked good and he was like, "Oh, I'm also using
So he
Broglow."
lost 10 pounds in alcohol.
Yeah, I mean, it was
Wow.
fast. And he had a tan too. And then he's like, "Yeah, I'm using Broglow." And I was like, "What in the hell is, can we swear on this podcast?"
Yeah.
I was like, "What the f- is Broglow? I got to get on Broglow. I get translucent in the winter." And then so now it's so marketed towards guys. It's the dumbest thing ever, but also the coolest thing ever. And now I'm on Broglow because everybody's
He's
like, "Oh,
on
your skin looks
Broglow.
good."
I'm
on
doing
Broglow,
Broglow.
ladies and gentlemen. Feeling good, feeling strong.
I'm doing Broglow. Hey, but don't you find it funny how they market things to men? Like, it has to make you feel doodly to,
Yeah.
like, have a tan.
I know.
I know, because I was like, Jared, we have so many glow drops and sprays around the house, and you,
No, it's
of
gotta
course,
be Broglow.
had to order this because of the marketing.
Which the Broglow would also work for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then my sister, I think, brought it up at the same point yesterday. Would you, or did you say it? You were like, would you put the Broglow on your face? I'm like, you're right. Like, I probably would feel like.
Does it have, like, a
it's-
masculine smell?
I don't know. I
it
didn't
smells like
smell
suntan
it, but I'm
lotion.
thinking
Oh,
like maybe
nice.
there's like a chemical in there that'd be like a little bit harsher on my skin. Like it's totally in
Oh.
my head.
And
Totally in the
it's
head.
in your head.
Because her point was like, why don't you just use the stuff that I have?
Yeah.
Which is obviously like
Girly.
little feminine
Pink,
products.
yeah.
right.
But I was like, if Broglow was the last thing in the cabinet, you wouldn't use it. You would go buy your own stuff.
No, I would use it as the last thing in the cabinet.
Yeah, but you wouldn't use it consistently. You wouldn't be like, oh, I'll just use it until it's out. You'd be like, oh, I'll use it this once and
No,
then
you're-
go buy my
you're
own stuff.
Probably right, and
Not
I just
probably.
can.
I am right.
Why didn't we come up with this concept? This is a
I know.
multi-million-dollar idea.
Well, now we just got to think of other things
things.
bros want
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
girls have.
yeah,
That
like
they're
really,
too
it's like
scared.
makeup. Like sometimes he like if
Bro
we're going
sealer.
to something, bro sealer.
Bro
That's-
sealer.
Little concealer for your
Yeah.
face, little bro sealer.
Because he'll like have me put stuff on pimples and things.
Yeah.
If like we're doing an event. or
Oh,
something.
yeah, because it sucks.
Yeah.
Like, I always regret anytime we do a red carpet or anything like that. And then I'm like, no, I'm fine. I don't need anything. I'm good. And then there's these pictures and she looks tan and I'm like, I'm like the sun. And then I realize I'm like, why didn't I just put something on and make myself look better so I feel better in pictures that are now on the internet? And then the problem is these publications, which I love anytime, like we're very lucky to be in a news cycle. I can't believe that still happens. But it's like they'll use stock photos, right?
Yeah.
And it's
Oh,
like a picture
gosh.
of me where I'm like, oh shit.
He gets
Like,
unbelievably white though. Like he does
yeah.
get translucent. It's really weird.
So I'm like,
But
they'll
that's
use
because
the
you're
worst
like,
picture.
you do have
the winter.
vampire vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's such
So
a vampire.
it's-
But he
yeah.
could be a werewolf during the summer. When he's
Ah.
tan, he gets a little wolfy.
Fair.
Very wolfy.
Fair call out.
You're definitely a vampire. Like holy crap.
What do you mean?
You could never. You're not. You don't have
Yeah, you're
any
vampire.
wolf in you. You
I
could
don't
look
get
in
it.
the mirror.
What does that mean?
I'm talking about Twilight era.
I never watched.
You look like Dracula, Caitlin.
No, you like it's like the high cheekbones and like all that. Like,
But that's good. You want to look like a vampire.
I
yeah,
do.
but like
Okay,
also
okay.
you can be beautiful and be a wolf.
Like as much as I
Jared.
love Taylor Lautner, he's great. Like
You've never had this conversation
we all
with
wanna be
Taylor
Robert
Lautner.
I've had a couple conversations with Taylor, and they were very funny because he was Team Brit, just like fuck Jared over there.
okay, listen. How many times do I have to say I'm sorry? I made a mistake. It was my fault. My bad.
Jared picks me up from the airport last night, and we talked about what life would have looked like for him if Brit was the Bachelorette.
Yeah.
And how crazy is that he could be with Brit right now.
I know. It just
It
all
would never
worked
have
out.
lasted.
No.
You and Britt, yeah. Who would have lasted longer with though? Is if Kaitlyn picked you or if Britt picked you, which one would have made more sense with you?
Well, I was joking with Caitlin last night how I was her gay best friend on the show.
Yeah.
So I was like, fuck this.
And then I told him how I was actually, they really wanted Ben to be the Bachelor.
yeah.
So Ben had to be third.
Yeah,
There was
does
no
Ben
way
know
they were
this?
breaking
'Cause I know
up.
that Jared knew.
I
this.
knew I had
Yes,
to-
Ben knows this.
Oh, okay.
When I went, I'll never forget that rose ceremony because I was not confident throughout the entirety of the show. Just for like my own insecurities. Like every time we went to rose ceremony, I was like, I'm gone probably. Like even though we had a great connection,
Yeah.
I was like, she probably has 10 better connections. And then it is so funny looking back though how intimidated I was by other guys. Where I look at them now, I'm like, I cannot believe.
You're like, you let someone like Nick Viall get in your head.
Oh, I'm not even talking about Nick. Like
Ben?
I'm talking about like someone. I don't even want to say names because I don't want to. Well, I'll say names because I love him to death. But like Joshua Albers, right? Where I was like, this guy's good looking. He's got Southern charm. And then I look back, I'm like, all right, I had it over Josh.
Imagine.
I had it over Joshua. Love him to death. Yeah, but that was the one rose ceremony where I was like, I feel very confident that I have a better connection with Kaitlyn than Ben does.
Yeah.
And like Nick and Sean, I was like, I don't know. But I was like, I feel pretty confident that like she would pick me over Ben. And then of course I got voted off. I was like, well, I was wrong.
Then you guys would have had a fantasy suite, and then I don't know
then
how
yeah,
I
we
would
don't
have
have to talk
dealt with
about
that.
That's true.
Yeah,
you
that
know?
would've
It
been
all
weird.
worked out.
But
It all
also,
worked out.
wait, now that I think about it, I think I wanted to send. Wait, I think I wanted Nick to go home.
Yeah.
But there was no way they were not having the Nick and Sean show at the
Right,
end
of
that.
course.
Too good.
Yeah.
That was like a whole
Yeah.
thing. But
you were kind
Too
of like
good.
ambivalent then about like the whole top four, like as long as Sean was number one.
yeah,
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 you were
I
like
mean, Sean
any
was
order you
winning.
really prefer.
that's so true. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
it was gonna
You
be
wanted
him.
to be Sean.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was very clear.
It was so clear. It was a little too clear.
No,
Because I
that's not a
spoiled
bad
it.
thing though.
Yeah, but it was so clear, and then I went ahead and spoiled it on Snapchat.
didn't
I've
do it
talked
on
about that a
purpose.
million
So
times.
good.
We don't need to keep
Yeah.
talking about that. We're in Rhode Island, by the way, for people watching.
Thank you for
island of
coming to
Rhodes.
Rhode Island.
Yeah.
This is so cool. Are we allowed to say where we are?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I don't. You're gonna do a better job explaining it.
Okay, so we here are sitting at Folk Vintage, which is owned by this season's villainous Sydney Gordon.
Cruella de Vil is sitting next to us.
She's right there.
I'm staring at her
Oh
right
my
in her
God,
dead
what-
eyes right now.
She's what did she say? Yeah, she's just vile.
Oh my gosh.
No, we love Sydney.
What
I
is
mean,
it?
we've
What was
been
the
very.
word? Oh, dangerous.
Oh,
That's
we
right.
don't have to talk
He
about
called
that. That was
you
dangerous.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh well,
God.
she doesn't seem very dangerous over here.
She like
She's
folds
not
clothes.
Yeah, she's folding clothes over there, looking like a sweet pea in her little scrunchie and her sweet little army pants. And
No.
we're gonna act like you're not here for a minute. So obviously you're watching this season.
Yes.
Yes.
We've been actually, to be honest, Jared doesn't watch. And even though Sydney is quite weirded out by the fact that Jared didn't even watch
I saw the
her full
episode, the one
episodes.
that we watched together.
Yeah, but you
I saw
didn't
that
watch the
episode.
2-on-1 episode.
I have not seen your two.
I did watch the 2-on-1 episode. I don't really remember.
Do you not recap it anymore?
Not really.
Okay.
I honestly, I was gonna watch the season full on, and then I don't know. I've missed 2 episodes, so I need to catch up, and then
Yeah.
I will because I want to have people on.
Yeah.
and I want to talk about it. I've been behind.
Yeah.
yeah. But I did watch that part. Wait, how did you guys all meet? And then
So
we'll get
obviously
into...
we won't have Sydney. We'll let her sit there. But what happened was
So
Jared
when I-
got recommended.
Yeah, so there's another coffee shop. When I was opening Audrey's, I obviously was talking to other people, just getting advice. And then there was a business owner who owns a cafe called Mirror Souls. And he said, Sydney does his social media. She does a great job. Like, I highly recommend her because she really helped us build a following. So, of course, I talked to Sydney, and then she started doing social media for Audrey's, and then we just became friends. You know, she's from Newport. She's a little bit younger than us, 28, 29? 28. So God, we're 35.
I know.
I'm
I'm going to be
38.
36 next week. So
I'm gonna be 39 this year, so let's move on.
Okay, anyway. Oh, and then she started doing our social media,
So, like,
Audrey's, and she
whenever-
did such a great job.
Yeah.
And then we just became friends, and Sydney started doing social work for us. And then she owns Folk Vintage, so she was a business owner. Obviously, I'm a business owner. So we just became friends. And then one night I was working, and then Sydney and Ashley were at the house. And I think you guys were kind of like talking, and then Ashley was like, "You're single? Like, I should try to get you on the show."
Yeah, and then she said to me that this guy Joey is like the one bachelor that I can think of that I'd actually want to go on the show for. And I was like, it's a little late for me to talk to the producers, but like you'd be so perfect. Like my girlfriends and my sister, like when they'll come into the store when they're visiting and they just think like Sydney was so cool. They're like, oh my gosh, she's like such an aura. She's like such a cool girl.
Yeah.
And like she's so pretty and like effortless and blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, yeah, like she was so good on the show. And then I texted producers and I sent them pictures and like immediately they were like, oh my gosh, yes, so pretty. Let me talk to so-and-so. And it happened so fast for her.
Oh my
like it was
gosh.
like a week. And because I don't think I submitted her pictures until like the last week of August or something.
So Sydney, how would you say it went?
But then like now I have this horrible guilt
Oh,
that
yeah.
like she gets on, it does not go according to plan, and it doesn't seem like we have Paradise, which would be the ultimate like
Why don't we have
redemption show.
Paradise?
I don't think it's happening.
Well, it's not
What?
confirmed. Nobody knows what's going on right
Wait,
now.
why?
And like Sydney, you can
Well,
at
they
least
just
call
announced
this
Golden
out.
Bachelorette.
And I think that they don't want to overwork production because production
can't.
now with the addition of the new Golden Bachelorette, it's just like that's 4 shows for them a year. These poor people, I don't know how,
I don't know
how they do
deal
it.
with.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, this is all happening.
Yeah. Oh, that's sad.
I know. I always feel bad for the producers because I was thinking about them as well and just like their schedule.
Sydney's probably over there like, I don't feel bad about
Well, obviously, different story.
Anyway, but yeah,
Wait.
so I don't know. Hopefully she gets to go on Paradise if she's so willing, and then
Yeah.
like eventually people will get to know the side of her that we didn't see, or just a more complete version of herself.
And the
A more
side that
complete
you guys
version.
know.
Yes.
So we're good. Again, I hate that you're right here, but
Yeah.
we're talking in a positive light about you. What do you think about people's edits? Because don't you think they could have made me the villain on?
They could have
our
made both of us the
Yeah.
villain. Maybe not on Chris's season.
they-
Why would you think that on Chris's season they can make you a villain?
easily.
Oh,
The
yeah,
shit
100%.
that came out of my mouth about people,
Okay,
like
yeah.
as jokes.
Yeah.
You get with a producer, and a producer could say to me, they actually did say that about you, and then I'm going to hate that person and I'm going to say things about them, but the producers can be lying to me just to make television. And I had all these one-liners that I wanted to like throw out there and zingers.
You stole the word.
Zingers?
I was just about to say zingers.
Really?
Yeah. I was like,
If they put
Yeah.
scary music behind some of
Right.
the things that you said, then
And I
yeah.
said them as jokes, and that's just my sense of humor and my way of flirting. Like I saw a meme the other day that was like, I'm sorry I offended you so much. I was just trying to flirt with you. That's me. Like I use it as like a way to flirt or like poke fun, and
Yeah.
I just have all these like pew pews. And so yeah, they could have. So what do you think about our friend over here, her edit?
Well, you speak.
I think, as we've always said, nothing is as good as it seems and nothing is as bad as it seems. It's kind of
Yeah.
like, it sucks because, and Sydney can probably attest to this, it's like, yes, that happened, but that's not how it happened. And it's like, yeah, 100%. That's exactly what happens. And it sucks because not everybody gets their full story out. And it's just like, I wish I had more words of wisdom or positivity, but like, it's just like, sometimes that shit happens and
Yeah.
it sucks.
Yeah.
I think
But
that
it's
was
just-
well put.
I mean, never in a million years did I ever think it was like gonna happen to Sydney, where you'd be like in the middle of this shit.
Oh my gosh.
I was
hope
like,
you know it
she'll make,
passes.
because Ashley was like, she's going top 4, and then I was like, if she'll probably like get halfway, like get to Paradise, be like one of those. That's what I thought I was gonna be.
Yeah.
And then you dragged my ass to 4th. Thank you so much. I really appreciate
You're
it.
welcome.
Very-
So off camera, Sydney just said that like she's the kind of person that, she can't just keep her mouth shut if she sees something like kind of wrong happening. And I feel like I have that quote. Well, I have that quality.
Yeah.
And sometimes that quality on the show is
Yeah.
really is hard. to
Yeah.
have.
And it can come across a different way,
Yeah.
and it can be edited a certain
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Like I always say, I don't know how the editors don't get awards at TV, like those award shows.
Right? Yeah.
Because they are so good in ways where it's like brilliant and beautiful and hilarious, and in ways where I'm like, oh, you little asshole.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Even in movies, because I'm a big movie guy, but you know, you talk about I've heard stories about editors really changing actors' performances and how they can really take I've heard stories about actors giving horrible performances, but the way the editors are able to put the film together, that it really makes actually a somewhat decent performance. It's crazy.
That's like how Russell Crowe, you know, can win 2 Oscars. Has he won 2?
He won for Gladiator and he won for Beautiful Mind, I think.
No, we talked about this when we were playing our game.
He definitely won for Gladiator.
I know that. But remember, we thought he won for Beautiful Mind, and then he didn't.
Okay, so maybe he's only won one. Oh, Master and Commander.
Master and Commander?
Yeah, I think he won for that.
So I thought he won for 2, and I think it's weird that he won for Master and Commander and not Beautiful Mind, but whatever. So he's got 2 Oscars, but then like apparently up for like a Razzie this year. So like is that how it happens?
Oh, for the Pope's Exorcism?
Something like that.
Yeah, it did not do well. Yeah, but that's just the way it happens.
Yeah. I mean, there were definitely things on my season where I was like, those sex noises they showed.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
Now that would keep me up at night, and that's the only thing from your season that
would keep me up for just like God.
I'm like, did you really need to make the noises like sound? Show the noises.
And the idea
was that really you?
Yeah, it was me, but it was the morning. I was having morning sex with Sean. And they had a boom mic outside.
Where?
And they dubbed noises over
when
a blank door.
This is like
Fantasy
Suites.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, so it wasn't Nick's voice.
It was only mine.
Yeah, they only played
Oh,
hers.
I don't remember.
Only played her
Because
sound.
then, like, thinking about, like,
I remember.
God, the
My
sound
dad
of
definitely
Nick.
remembers. God, my poor dad.
Poor Papa Bristowe.
Let's talk about that for a second. What would you do if Dawson wanted to be the Bachelor one day?
Yeah, we're cool with it.
We're cool with it.
Really?
Oh
Not even.
I would be too.
Yeah, how could we not be? Like, it's given us like the life that we've lived for the past 10 years almost.
That's true.
And it's an amazing, amazing life.
I do wonder if that will be a thing. Like when our franchise age has kids and they are old enough to be, I don't know. That show
is it gonna be around that long?
That's the show that doesn't quit.
I mean, it's been on for 25 years, and it feels like it's only getting more popular with Joey's season.
Well,
but
not more popular, but it's balancing out again.
What if, Dawson and Emmy got married?
Well, Dawson and Emmy have great chemistry.
That's what I mean.
Oh my
it's a little bit of
gosh.
a cougar situation, especially right now.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay, do you know what brings me joy? Comfort. Just good old fashioned comfort. Like bras used to be a pain literally until I discovered Skims. And as someone who already swears by their underwear, I couldn't resist giving their bras a little whirl. Let me just rave for a second about the Fits Everybody t-shirt bra. It's like a hug for your chest. That's what I call it. With adjustable straps and the softest fabric imaginable, I practically live in mine. And can you guess what happened next? I feel like you guys do this at home too. I ordered one in every color. Now, once you experience the magic of Skims bras, you will never look back. So shop Skims bras at skims.com, now available in 62 sizes, 30A to 46H. Plus, get free shipping on orders over $75. And if you haven't yet, be sure to let them know I sent you. So after you place your order, select podcast in the survey and select my show in the drop-down menu that follows. Okay, now you're probably juggling a million things while tuning into this podcast because that's what we do. Maybe you're driving, you're cleaning, squeezing in a workout. But if you're not behind the wheel, there's something productive that you can do right now, and that's get an auto quote from Progressive Insurance. It's super convenient, and it could end up saving you some serious cash, all from the comfort of your phone. Switching to Progressive could mean saving an average of nearly $750. Plus, they have a ton of discounts like savings for insuring multiple vehicles or being a homeowner. And just like my podcast keeps you company whenever you need it, Progressive is there for you 24/7, ensuring that you're covered no matter what life throws your way. So why not make the most of your multitasking skills and head on over to Progressive.com and get a quote now, joining the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, national average 12-month savings of $744 by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2022 and May 2023. Potential savings will vary. Discounts may not be available in all states and situations. Who do you think right now is going to be the next Bachelorette?
Well, I think that Maria does have a chance.
I do too.
I think she's kind of like runner up though, because I do think that with the top 4 being Maria and then
Are they already at Final Four?
yeah.
Oh shit.
So Maria and Rachel, and I don't think Rachel would ever be. So sorry about Rachel. I mean, like, I like her, but I just don't think that she has like that pizzazz. And
Yeah.
then if it goes between Kelsey and Daisy, I think that those 2 also have a chance.
Yeah.
So there's 3 there.
She doesn't have that pew pew.
That's I can't wait for Dawson to be old enough to understand everything of your guys' relationship, because it's
Yeah.
just it's like pure at the same time, and it's so sweet and it's such an incredible story, but it's so funny. Like, it's just kids are just gonna have to understand that.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm excited for Dawson to realize that love is not easy. You know, like, I love the show so much. I love Bachelor. It has given me more in my life than anything besides like my parents. But, you know, we all know that love is much more complicated and difficult and hard. And I'm actually weirdly happy that he can see his parents and be like, bro, it wasn't always good. And it's not always going to be good for you. Like, whoever you end up, like, you're going to be in relationships and they're going to work out and they're not going to work out, and you're going to get married one day, and there's probably going to be times in your marriage when you're sad and angry, and that's just the way life is.
I
And
love that.
Ashley probably disagree with me, but I just want, you know, I feel like you have to go in
like,
with a sense of realism.
He's like, realism. Yeah. And I'm like, no.
You're like
romance and
fantasy land.
Which also is very true as well.
But it's all of that. It's so many, you know, the highs and the lows, and the peaks and valleys of not just your story, everybody's. Like, everybody goes through something. I wish I would have learned more in my upbringing about, like, my parents hid their fights and then all of a sudden they're getting divorced. I'm like, well, but you guys are in love. Like, I think it's important to show all sides. I'm not a mother yet. Who knows? But if I ever will, I want to be both. I want to, like, protect their little magic land in their head, and also be like, but life will f you up, son.
Well, hey, life's hard. Get a helmet.
Yeah.
I like right now. Of course, I would never introduce that to Dawson. You know, it's just Santa Claus is real.
Yes.
You're gonna get $1 when you lose a tooth.
Yeah.
Like, because there's
$1?
Yeah, what's the tooth
We're gonna
fairy price
Dude,
these days?
we're gonna
no.
yeah. He's
What are
gonna
you
be-
about to say?
I knew
What
he was
are
gonna
you?
say this.
How much do you think we're
20
giving Dawson?
bucks.
Kaitlyn, get the out of here.
See,
You're gonna
okay.
give $20.
My
for a
parents
tooth?
my parents one time gave me $20, and I was like, look at this, and they were like, the tooth fairy obviously couldn't see in the dark. So I
hilarious.
think like 5 to 10.
No.
Jared,
Okay,
inflation. What did you get?
I mean, maybe, yeah, but well, I want Dawson to know that it's not easy
value
for
of a
him to get
dollar.
money.
Okay.
I think 5 is at least fine.
We'll talk about it.
I think 5 is good. I said 20, but your reaction scared me. So
20. I just don't want him to be.
I'm not saying 20, babe. That's
Yeah.
too much. I'm just 5 at least.
we can move
we'll,
on.
We'll talk about it.
We can move on. Obviously, you're pregnant right now. You just announced you're having another boy.
Yeah.
That is crazy, because didn't you say you thought it was going to be a girl, or I can't remember what you
We
said.
kept going back and forth. Like, when I saw you last, I definitely thought it was going to be a girl.
Yeah, you
because
did.
the pregnancy has been not like the extreme opposite as last time, but so much better than last time that I was like, oh, hormonally, I must be able to tolerate a girl better or something.
Right.
And no, my midwife was like so shocked.
I don't know why I thought it was going to be a girl too. But
Yeah.
like that, my whole body was like, girl. I don't know why. I think if you have a boy and then, but how crazy is it when everybody says to you, are you going to try for a girl next?
Oh,
and you're like,
everybody-
I am literally halfway just having another boy, and like, leave me alone.
Like, never ever. Like, sorry, guys. Like, I'm not. And my mom is like, but you will. And I'm like, Mom, then you can
you
pay
will.
for the surrogate, because I'm not carrying another kid. Nor do I like need
And
another
you can pay
kid in
for
my
the
life.
night nurse, and you can pay for the nanny.
How do you guys, like, if you have like the conversation we just had about the tooth fairy, we've got realism, we've got dreamland. How do you get to the same page on parenting, and how do you navigate your disagreements?
That's a good question. I don't think that right now we've had a ton, because like he's just 2.
Yeah.
But we talk about this like sometimes when it comes to like saving money for college.
Right.
Like Jared doesn't prioritize it as much as I would, because I was definitely like, you know, raised in the family where it's like you go to college.
Yeah.
But like I think that like my thoughts are evolving, and I think like even my parents' thoughts were evolving, where it's like my parents saved for like us to go to Ivy Leagues if we wanted to, but I don't think that that's a priority for us. Like,
Right.
I'm like, no, he go to a good state school, and if he like finds something that he's really passionate about, he wants to move on, like blah blah blah. And Jared's more like, if he wants to just become like a plumber, which is actually quite a fantastic occupation, like an
make good money.
electrician.
Well, if he
yeah,
wants to go to like a trade school.
Trade school.
I mean,
Yeah.
of course, I want him to go
Yeah.
to college,
And
but
Jared's like, we don't need to excessively save for college. And I'm like, so that's just kind of like one
the
of the
point I was
things.
making on that was that there's, not to get in the minutia, but there are certain things that you can do like with college funds that are like save you a ton in taxes and stuff like that. But it's
Right.
like they can only be used for college. So if he doesn't go to college, it gets like passed down to your grandkids. So you can never take that
What?
money out.
Yeah.
But you save so much money in taxes
Oh, got it.
for
Okay.
for like the money you put away. So it's
Crazy.
like
Yeah.
it's so
It
you
can
have
only be
conversations
used for
like that.
education.
I didn't go to college,
Yeah.
Yeah,
And look
I
at
mean-
you.
so
Seriously,
You got a
look
pretty
at
good
you.
bank account, I think, too.
100%.
So, yeah.
It's not so
So,
bad.
like, but exactly. So
We here.
it's,
We here.
but like, it's just
Yeah,
things
yeah.
where it's like,
Yeah.
you can see that on like the cusp, but I think like Jared and I are pretty, we find the middle. He's definitely more the disciplinarian in the family than I didn't think I was going to have such a problem with it.
Yeah?
If I upset him, I can't. Like,
It's tough. I
his
mean, I get
little
it.
face going from
Oh,
being
he's-
normal to squishing up.
It's very sad. But I understand it from Ashley's point of view as well, because when he gets upset, he's not screaming for dad, he's screaming for mama.
Yeah.
So I get why Ashley's I wish you would just walk away and just be like, just get out of the room. And then like, I'll handle it,
You're like, no.
I know, but it's tough
I know.
because he's like reaching out for mama. So it's just so tough. And it's not even that bad, but like the problem is even when I raise my voice where I'm like, he'll throw something and we're like, don't do that. And then he'll look at me and throw it again. And I'm like, Dawson,
Isn't
do
it funny how they
not
test you?
throw that.
Yeah.
And I'll lower my voice
Yeah.
and get stern, and then he'll get scared and
Yeah.
cry. And then so that's about the extent of our discipline right now. Because he's been
That's
pretty
fair.
good.
But okay. First of all, he's so cute. I can't even handle his.
We'll make
it's
sure that you
insane.
meet him
I-
later.
I
Yeah.
need
Yeah,
to.
of course.
I can't believe you never met
yeah,
him.
so
That's
weird
I've
that you
crazy.
never
met
met
him.
him, and I'm
He's a
just
good one.
obsessed. I love kids so much. How do you take parenting out of it? How do you two get through disagreements as a couple, or do you have many?
We're lucky we don't have
We
many.
like bicker, we'll
Dang.
bicker, but like we don't like have a lot of fights.
No, I
Like the
think
last one we had was like a week and a half ago where you were mad at me about the keys.
Oh yeah, I was very mad at you about the keys. Because I always say, in my opinion, Ashley's greatest quality is also probably one of her greatest weaknesses in terms of like relationships. Because what Ashley's so great at is that she's so transparent. Like
Yeah. Yes.
anything, and she cannot tell a lie. She can't hide anything. She has no poker face, and it's so endearing. But also it's difficult because you don't have the ability to really be like, it's okay, babe. Like, we're fine. I'm fine.
Yeah.
Like, you're never fine.
Yeah.
She's just like never fine,
Yeah.
Which I get. But I think it's hard because she also has a way, like the way she talks to her sister, it's very like,
Abrasive,
Lauren, why
apparently,
didn't
but-
you do this? And it's like she talks to me like that sometimes, and I'm like, why? Like, why the would you say it that way? And she's like, this is just the way I talk.
I wouldn't I don't mean anything by it.
I know,
At
but-
all.
I'm the same way as Ashley.
Yeah.
My delivery, I'm like, but I would say that I would talk like that to my sister or my
Exactly.
friend. That's
It's-
just like, it's my delivery.
Yeah.
Are your hormones crazy? Like, we all know Ashley for crying, but
Yeah.
then I feel like you came out of that phase. And
I think so too. But I do cry every time we have a fight. And he
Oh.
does not like that. Like, I can't fight without having tears streaming down my face.
oh, yeah.
because our
Right?
fights,
I'm the same.
And he says that, like, I can help that. And I was like, no.
Oh, no. I can't. When the tears start, no stopping them
No.
for me.
we have
Yeah.
to try to. But the problem
He says to
becomes,
try, but I was like,
can't.
biologically, I don't think.
No, I
Yeah.
couldn't. The more I try and stop, the more they flow.
yes, I agree. But we have to get to a place because the problem is whenever like we fight, it really is more of like an argument
Yeah.
in terms
Well,
of like because
yeah.
we never raise our voices, but we're very like if we have opinions about things,
Yeah.
like well, this is what I think, Ashley, and it's like a serious conversation.
Yeah.
Even then she'll start crying, and then as soon as Ashley starts crying, it's over. Like I'm not going to disagree with her anymore because I'm going to be like, well, we just it's fine. And then she's like, it's not fine. Obviously, we need to figure out a solution.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't like I just can't be tough on you if you're crying. I
Yeah.
can't stick to my opinions. Like I'll disagree with you.
You don't like seeing her like that because then it.
Who would?
Yeah.
Anybody who starts crying, if you have any type of empathy and like you
I
see someone
know.
start crying, it's like never mind. You know, it's fine.
So
I'll
you're
just
like,
suck it up.
stop manipulating me with your tears, bitch.
I know.
I don't even think you think they're sad. I
No,
just
I
think that you
definitely-
don't want to talk
No, I'm
to
just
me
kidding.
like through them.
Yeah, because it's honestly, again, one of your greatest strengths is you're so, and I say this with all the love of my heart, is that you're so childlike at times.
It's funny
'Cause you're
because
so
you
innocent.
you're so innocent and childlike, yet so in tune with yourself that it's like I always joked about this with you and maybe off camera or on, I can't remember, or podcast, whatever. But everyone always thought like you on The Bachelor, for example. So this is a lot of years ago, like that you weren't self-aware.
Yeah, I know.
But I think you were the most
Oh,
self-aware person, and you've only got more self-aware. But it's so funny because you like get known as the crier or
Yeah.
this. But then now you're a mom, and you're just like, I don't know, you're like the most you've ever been.
Well, thanks.
I think so.
Thank you.
But you're so in tune with your emotions.
Yeah, I do.
Which
think
is so
that.
funny.
I do, and I do make fun of myself. And for anybody who would like write to me during The Bachelor and Bachelor in Paradise and be like, "She's so not self-aware," I'm like, "Wow, you don't get it."
Yeah,
Like,
no,
you
you're
don't
the
get
most
it.
self-aware.
I'm laughing at myself crying because I know how ridiculous it is.
And it's cool because when people come up to me, and Kaitlyn, you're the exact same way. They'll say like, "Oh, I feel like I know Ashley,"
Yeah.
and I'm like, "You do."
Yeah.
Like I know it sounds weird, but you do.
Yeah.
'Cause what
'Cause
she is
that
on
is-
social media, that is
Which is
it's
such a compliment.
it is a compliment, and you are the exact same
Yeah,
way.
you really are.
I love
too.
that.
Where people are like, "I feel like I know you," and it's like you do know him.
Yeah. Okay, introducing your must-have makeup essential CoverGirl Simply Ageless Skin Perfector Essence. Now you can wear it alone, but what I've been doing is using it as a primer under my favorite foundation, or just using it and then putting a little bit of bronzer and blush on top of it. And I've just noticed after 2 weeks, you guys, it's improved my complexion, my skin texture, and the overall firmness. And I'm excited because I'm taking this on the road with me for my live podcast tour. And with this product containing 71% water, your girl's gonna be looking plump, youthful, up on that stage. And this will be my little secret. Well, it's not a secret. I'm sharing it with everybody. It's an instant burst of hydration, and it lasts for up to 24 hours. That's what I'm talking about. And you can get the Simply Ageless Skin Perfector Essence only from Easy, Breezy, Beautiful CoverGirl. Let's chat about my little secret on where I go for luxury finds that won't break the bank. It is Quince. They swoop in and save the day. From cozy cashmere sweaters to cotton sweaters and washable silk tops, they've literally got it all. And get this, the prices, 50 to 80% less than what you'd expect. You're probably wondering how they do it, but it's by working directly with top factories and skipping the middleman. Plus, they're all about ethical practices and premium quality. How amazing is that? I have been living in their Mongolian cashmere sweaters. They're just ridiculously soft, and I feel like they're really versatile too. So whether I'm lounging at home, heading out with friends, they are my go-to. And knowing they're made with integrity, I don't know, it just makes me love it even more. So go to quince.com/vine for free shipping on your orders and 365-day returns. That's Quince, QUINCE.com/vine to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/vine. Okay, let's talk about why I'm here.
Yeah.
People know us.
That's sweet. That's sweet.
The last time, actually, yes, Jared, you have it on my podcast because now I'm remembering you said this on my podcast that it was like a dream of yours to open a coffee shop in Rhode Island and have it turn into like a martini bar at night.
Oh,
I
here
should
we
find
are.
that footage.
Oh, my dream that's turned into a nightmare.
How hard is it to?
Oh my!
I always knew it was going
gosh.
to be hard,
Yeah.
and I've accepted that. The problem becomes is it's not so much, and I hope Ashley can attest to this. Like, I work very, very hard, but I'm able to continue doing life tired and exhausted, and I just can kind of like grind through. And so the thing is, it's never like the amount of hours I'm there don't bother me that much. I love to work, but it's now I just see the effect it has on Ashley and Dawson. I mean, that's what it really. It's hard
I mean,
because
I know restaurant hours and
Yeah.
running it and having it be coffee into drinks, like that's
it's a lot.
it's a lot.
We only do that like twice. He definitely only has it once a week, which is Fridays, and then he does that again like for events and like other special, like it'll be peppered throughout the month if there's more. There's always more because he has like these after parties, these wedding after parties for private events and all that stuff. But he does work so insanely hard.
That's awesome though. I
And
mean, but
like
that's a lot.
he's he's so dedicated to it.
Yeah.
It's really
Yeah, well, that's why it's
impressive.
succeed.
I mean, it
It's
truly
hard.
was your dream, and now
Yeah.
you're living it, eating, sleeping, breathing.
It doesn't feel like a dream though when you accomplish some dreams, you know.
Oh my gosh, no, it's a
so
grind.
crazy. Yeah.
Oh, it's a
an
grind.
absolute grind.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it is like there are times I definitely let it soak in. Be like, I remember when Grocery Store Joe, who we love so much.
We love him so much. Go get his sauce.
Yeah, I know.
His sauce is
Pasta
available
sauces.
at Audrey's.
Sundays with Joe.
It's so good.
But I remember
It
when
is
he
good.
came, and Joe's such a good guy. Like I fucking love him so
Yeah.
much. And we were talking, and he was like, dude, do you ever just kind of look around and think that if you just stopped caring, this place would just crumble? And I'm like, I've never thought of it that way, but in a weird way, that's kind of one of the best comments that everybody's given me.
Yeah.
That the fact if I, only me, stopped caring,
Yeah.
Audrey's is done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. That is literally your second, third baby, whatever you want to call it.
I know.
But it's why did you name it Audrey's again? I remember.
It's after my mom, which I mean, he loves my mom, but he also just thought it was a cute coffee shop name.
Oh, I love
like
it.
Cozy.
Yeah, it is
you know?
cozy.
Yeah.
Audrey's. Yeah.
So explain to people if they come to Rhode Island what they would get if they came there. Like, what is the experience?
Oh, well, I mean, good coffee, good drinks. It's hard because it is very much a coffee shop.
Yeah.
You know, and it's cute in there and it has great vibes and people love coming and hanging out. And I love that so much with the fireplace and there's painted murals on there and string lights.
It's like you've never been in there. Oh, you're gonna love it.
I'm
It's-
so excited.
like it's very much like we tried to cater it towards like the coffee shop and Friends,
Yeah.
Central Perk, but at the same time it is very much a functioning coffee shop. So it's like hard because people come in. We've had people come in from all around the country, which is so humbling. The idea that they would
kidding.
dedicate their time to come to Audrey's, and it means the world to me. But I also can't help but feel a sense of guilt because it is still, it's like you're just coming to a coffee shop.
Right.
You
Right.
know, but it's cool like for them if they're fans of the show and like they literally see me like cooking in the back and then like there's a little square, you'll see it that
His head is always in the cooking square.
just in the cooking square.
You need
'cause
to start like an Instagram account just for the square.
honestly it would it would probably kill.
It's amazing.
But
It's where he goes, order up.
Yeah.
yeah,
I
order
love
up.
when people like do something from the show and they're actually like in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like how I stomped the grapes with my own 2 feet.
Obviously.
You know?
I do love your tagline. I never realized what your tagline was for Spade and Sparrows.
Oh.
We're long legs, full body, and
Great
the line,
legs, full body.
and the wine's not bad either. Oh, so good. I read that in the box. I was like, wow, that's
Which is so
That's
cool.
good
You're
stuff
going to
right
be
there.
having the Spade and Sparrows there and Joe's sauce.
Yeah. And we have Nick's book and it's Ben's coffee.
And Ben's coffee.
yeah, Jenna's coffee. So it's cool because it is very, you know, we're all just friends. And so the
Yeah.
idea that we all have different companies and it's like,
Supporting
that's
each
so
other.
cool. And people love it. If they come in and they love the show, they're like, I can buy Kaitlyn's wine and then get Joe's sauce and then buy Ben's coffee
Yeah.
while also like, you know, meeting Jared, the one with the patch of facial hair. It's like, this is perfect. It's a great day.
Facial hair. Stop it.
Very proud of my patchiness.
It's part of your,
It's just me.
yeah, it's part of your whole vibe.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, yeah.
just the vibe.
I just never noticed it until like everybody kept talking about it.
I know,
It's like, I don't
I
get
know.
it, but no, I guess I get it.
I'll never forget one of the greatest comments I ever got too is from Donnie Wahlberg. That the one time.
What did
not
he
the one-
say?
He said, so this was before we were together and we were on Jenny's podcast and Donnie was there too. And obviously from, you know, New England, it's like, oh, that's Donnie Wahlberg.
Oh, yeah, that's huge.
And so we sat down and then Donnie said, he was like, no, I get Jared. Like he's got that Providence vibe.
I think they were saying
I
that
was
they
like,
get it in-
Oh, Donnie Wahlberg just said I had a Providence vibe.
I think that they got it more in real life though. I think they were like saying that.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like I'm more understood in real life,
Yeah.
which I guess is
a good
it's
thing.
a good thing.
Yeah, that's a good thing. And then Ashley, you've had a podcast for so long now.
So
You've been
long.
in the game, I think, as long as I have.
Yeah, I think you came out with yours like 2 or 3 months after.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so you've been in it longer than me. How is that? I mean, you're both in the podcast world. How
Hers is much more successful. I can't believe Suckers is still a thing. Love it to death.
it's still good.
It's still good. Like I love Dean so much, and I love Kaitlyn too.
Yeah.
I love Kaitlyn, but you know, obviously, I'm just very close with Dean.
Yeah.
He's just like I was actually talking about Dean on the podcast. Very brief story. Just like how incredible like Dean is when you really think about what he's come from and the
Oh, I
man that
know.
he is.
I
Yeah.
know.
You know, because we were talking, he's very open about it, about, you know, losing his mom at a young age and then what's happened with his father.
Yeah.
And how Dean kind of just raised himself.
Yeah.
And the idea that he is just this wonderful human being and, you know, all the credit goes to him. Because he was talking about it on the podcast about his dad, because he moved back to Colorado.
I saw that.
And he, like, lives in the neighborhood that his dad lives in. He hasn't seen him yet.
No way.
No way.
Why would he choose that
In
neighborhood?
like the town,
Yeah.
in the town, not so in the town.
Whoa.
He's like waiting. So and his dad works at a store, owns the store, and he hasn't gone in.
Kind of crazy that he'd be like open to living so
that's-
close to like where all the memories are.
I wonder if that's something deep down.
That's what he was talking about. He's like, I wonder if it like subconsciously, I just felt like I needed it to.
Yes. Oh, that makes me want to give him a really big hug.
Like that's why like. Talk about just like loving human being. I think he might own a store, and he just has.
Oh, they're gonna have. I feel like they're gonna have a moment.
I think so.
Well, the thing is, and I could talk about it because he was very open about it. Dean doesn't know if he wants the moment. You know.
Got it.
So that's the
But he
issue.
might need the moment.
Maybe, but he
I don't know,
also
Dean, but-
he was. It's so profound. I find it so profound. He was talking about how he is nervous that his dad would. He doesn't want his dad to take credit for the man he's become.
Fair.
And it's like
That's
shit like
fair.
that, man.
That's a
just
movie.
Like, it's
Damn,
just like,
that just gave me chills.
it gives me chills all the time just thinking about it.
He
and
should
then-
write a book.
Yeah, he really should. And
Actually,
he's smart enough to do it.
the way he's a storyteller but he does it through visuals. He should do like a documentary.
Totally.
Oh, yeah.
Where
Yeah.
like he's on like some like hike or something, and
And
he's
he, like-
discovered like.
I wonder if there's
talking
any
about-
home videos of him that they could find, like, and tell his story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it could be like, roll the credits, and it's just him, his name.
It could be like an eat, pray, love situation.
Oh my
too.
God,
He
I have
goes
all
to
these
different
visions.
places and then discovers more things about himself.
I love where we're planning Dean's life, and I love it.
Oh my God, Dean, I will produce. No, he will produce. I will just have some creative ideas for you, and you can run with them and give
You
me.
can
No, he
edit
needs.
it,
Well, he
Jared.
needs help because I love Dean so much. But like, he'd start 2 weeks in, he'd be like, I'm kind of over it. So I'd be like, no, bro, you need to do it.
That's kind of me too. How has your and Ben's relationship like evolved over the years of podcasting?
It's just like I'm just so comfortable with him.
Yeah.
And it's like whenever I see him in real, it's kind of funny because so much of it has been through a screen.
Yeah.
And then when I see him in real life, I'm like, oh my God, you're like you're like one of my very best friends. Do you know what I mean?
I feel like he's like family to you.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's just such a comforting presence too.
He is.
And just like such just a good charactered man. And like, I just feel like so many times he says things on the podcast and I'm just like, why can't I like think and feel like you
I know.
sometimes? You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like he's so soulful.
Yeah. He is soulful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
He's just a good human.
yeah, he really is. And
What-
we do this like advice podcast now, like we just like a couple episodes a month. And I'm like, Ben, how do you like everything is so well thought out and so
Wow.
kind.
Wow.
You know, everything is just like with just so much thought.
People always say I
Yeah.
should do like advice, and I'm like, nope, I shouldn't.
See, but like usually like it's like all my take real quick and I'll be like, I think this is a horrible man and you should divorce him. And then we'll get on and he'll just like have so much fuller of just a take.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I like about Ben, a multitude of things, but something I relate to as well is that, and I think people actually find this as a fault, and I find it as a great thing, is that he tries so hard to be a good man because I live in my mind every day, so I know that I have thoughts sometimes. Like I could be a dark human being.
He still says this that he has.
I don't tell you some of
He
my thoughts.
tells me that he's like, he used to tell me before we were like really married, but like particularly before we got together, that he was like, I have things, like demons. And
First
I'm
of all, I
like,
didn't say it like
You
that.
did. You made it seem
I
like
was
it
much
dark
manlier
demons.
than that when I said it, okay?
I use bro glow, and I have weird dark feelings.
And I
Sometimes
still
I wear bro
haven't
glow.
really seen the darkness. I know that he can have like a little bit of a temper. The temper is never directed towards me.
No,
but like I don't know.
What do you have, like dark intrusive thoughts?
Yeah. like,
No,
what are you
just
talking
like
about?
just
I
some of the
still
shit
don't know
that
what you're
says
talking about.
that like, yeah, of course, who doesn't have dark intrusive thoughts?
I have
just
intrusive
I have
thoughts
some
about
dark ones.
Dawson.
just like things that like I was like, oh shit, I could never say that out loud. Like I could never say that out loud. But my point being is that like everybody has that. I feel like everybody's good and bad, but like I think some people hold it against Ben for like, oh, like he's got some demons in him, but he tries so hard to be a good man. Like I think he just needs to let loose. And I'm like, yeah, but should we really fault someone for just like actively trying in their everyday life to be the best person they possibly can be.
And he still lets his little demons.
When he's got a little whiskey,
or
bourbon,
he just doesn't
or
have
whatever.
to do it on camera.
Yeah, and then of course, and then Ben is obviously just like someone we use as an example, but like I think it just makes, I don't know, that was a thought that went in my head. I was like, why do we fault someone for not, like, it's like, oh, just be your authentic self, and it's like, yeah, but sometimes my authentic self is a asshole.
Yeah,
I don't want to be that.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to fight against that. Because it's not about like I have darkness in me, but it's about like the choices that I make. That's the person that I am.
I literally did therapy about this for an hour yesterday.
Really?
It was like talk about business, but it turned into like what living authentically actually looks like. Mm-hmm. And basically what you just said. Like I was like, sometimes I try too hard to be like, I need people to like me, and that's not living authentically. And she was like, well, what is the alternative? Like, you're also not a dick. And it's like, and if you want to be, you don't have to share that side on social media. And that still doesn't make you like, it's basically everything that you guys are saying.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. And but like you said, of course, like we want realness. There are times when, of course, everybody's selfish or so on. But like, yeah, for the majority of times, it's like, I don't know why we fault people for trying to be a good person.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's interesting.
It is interesting. I have a game for you guys to end this.
Oh my God, I love games.
We do love games.
Jared and I never play games together.
It's because she won't. I want to play chess. I bought a chessboard.
I told you.
I love
bought one. Yeah. We have the Harry Potter
I know
one.
we have the Harry Potter one. That's
oh my God, you guys would have a Harry Potter chessboard.
Well,
it was given to us, and I can't wait to play it.
Well, Jared, you can just turn off the TV one night and just do like we're playing chess, and I'd be totally down.
Okay, great.
So I'm waiting for that moment. It'll actually be kind of romantic.
That's marriage for you right there.
I'd
when
like to
a romantic
with you.
gesture is telling your wife, we're gonna play a game of chess.
And you get excited.
Yeah, but it's like that would be like
the most romantic thing he's done for me in years.
It would be more of like an interaction at night.
Wait, how many years have you guys been together?
This month.
6 or 7.
6 this month.
Do you hear about the 7-year itch?
Oh well, we've heard about the movie.
Oh,
what's the 7-year itch?
The Marilyn Monroe movie. That's where she has like the wave in the skirt.
Oh,
yeah.
That's the 7-year itch is the movie?
Yeah.
What? I did not know that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, don't worry about it if you haven't heard of it. Nope. Just keep moving on.
So wait, would people like start like really contemplating?
Well, it's like no, it's like the
forever at
honeymoon
7
phase into 3 years, where then you start
It's not a
choosing.
honeymoon phase.
Yeah, and you're choosing to love the other person.
Yeah.
Then you get the 7-year itch where you're like, can I do this? And then you get through it and you go, okay, I love them more than ever now. Oh. And it like becomes more beautiful after.
Oh, wow.
Interesting.
So I hope you don't get that. But if you do, just know there's hope on the other end, which is, by the way, isn't that Rhode Island's like.
Hope, yeah, is our motto.
Is your motto?
I love it so much.
How
I love
sweet
hope.
is that? I love Rhode Island.
Do you really? You have to live here longer then.
It's a.
You have to come here for.
She also just comes to Newport.
She comes to Newport.
Newport's the best
when
part of
I
Rhode
come to Newport, when I cross the bridge, like in the summer, I'll come here from like May through October.
Yeah.
Yes, like I'll just cross the bridge and I'll feel like I have entered vacation land.
Yeah, let's bring her to West Warwick. See how she likes Rhode Island.
So I love Newport.
Bring her to
I used to
Cranston.
come
She might
here
like
as
Cranston.
like a little kid.
Oh, you did?
Because we used to live like 45 minutes away from each other when I was like 2 through 5. Yeah.
Cool.
So my parents would take us here on the weekends, and
I love that.
it's just beautiful here.
Wow.
The rest of the state is.
I do believe, not that I've never heard of the 7-year itch, but I do believe in that. This is gonna sound so
like
lame.
he's like, but what?
But Rob Thomas once told me.
Oh my God. He tells us on every podcast.
I thought you were going to get through a whole podcast without bringing him up the way that I got through the whole podcast without talking about Family Guy, but go on.
Oh, Quagmire. But my point being is that he talked about relationships one time, and I think it's a pretty interesting little facto where he said that like the same thing, where there's this honeymoon phase that he went through, and it's incredible, and you could be folding laundry and it doesn't matter. You guys just love being together. And then shit happens, and then real life happens, and then it's dark for a little while.
Pregnant and gross.
No, but it's just like it's not romantic anymore. Like there's just like just things happen. And then he said, once you get over that, there is this love that you discover that is this dependency. Like you are so dependent on that person, and not in a bad way, but
Right.
just in a wonderful way.
Yeah.
So
I
believe that.
Before we move on, I have to say two things. I didn't want to shit on Rhode Island too much because there are lots of pretty places. Just want to give them a shout out.
So pretty.
Wickford,
Wickford's great.
then Narragansett,
Love
and
Narragansett.
then Watch Hill, where Taylor
Watch Hill's
Swift
great.
has a house.
Oh, she does?
So if Taylor Swift has a house in
Yeah, then you
a
know
different
it's
place,
good.
you know it's great. So
I want
Great
whatever she
places.
says.
Federal Hill.
yeah. But like they're definitely spotty.
We
Like,
can also
Pawtucket.
edit out where you shit on it.
what?
We can also edit out where you shit.
No, no, leave it
We
in.
gotta give the shout outs to the pretty places because in the summer it is a great place to be. Love it here.
And in the winter, it's a dock place. I'll give you that.
And then the other thing I was gonna say, I was just gonna make fun of Jared and I together right now, just like because this is what we went through when Dawson, when I was pregnant with Dawson. But like this is our goodnight kiss to each other.
Oh.
Like you won't touch?
She does it with me, but it's
Like
not
and then
me.
we laugh, like we peck the smallest peck, and then like we laugh.
Wait,
But
why?
it's because she's so self-conscious about her breath when she's pregnant.
It's breath.
Really?
It's like my whole being.
I mean, there's a little stinkiness,
Like,
but it's not your fault. It's just pregnancy.
I'm so stinky. Like in the morning, like I'll shower the next day, like
Hormones.
deodorant and all that, and then in the morning I'll like go like this, and it's just.
Dude, the other
Hormones.
morning, I'm not even joking. She was just sitting there. We were
just
sitting at the
sitting,
table. It was me, her, and Dawson. And then just out of nowhere, she goes, "Holy shit! I just showered." And I was like, well, now I know not to go near
Wait,
you.
was the honeymoon phase not like that? Because I picture you always being like that.
It was
I
like
was
that.
always open.
Yeah.
and,
But you have
stuff
like
that,
lingerie and
but
stuff like
yeah.
that
Yeah,
that can
Yeah.
supplement it.
Yeah.
The
It's just
honeymoon
so
phase, Shan Boudrin was telling me about this. She's like, the longevity of your life is actually shortened if you lived in the honeymoon phase forever. Like the butterflies actually are tearing up
yeah.
the like tissue of your stomach.
Yeah. No, I've read this and I tell everybody this, that like it's only supposed to be 2 years max
Yeah.
because then we wouldn't be functioning human beings.
Right.
I took this class, it was like human intimacy in college, and that's
Cool.
that's the tidbit that
I wish
really
I would've learned
stuck
that.
with me because it makes me feel better on like times like this. Because I'm like, well, we couldn't be like the way we were in 2000.
I mean, looks like I've got the 3-year itch. Every 3 years, I'm like, Mom, I'm out.
See ya.
And
Butterflies
maybe-
are gone. So is Kaitlyn.
Fly.
Fly away.
Maybe that's my problem. I'm like, choose love. That.
Yeah.
I feel like
That sounds
a tissue in
terrible.
my stomach forever.
I'm gonna be asexual.
that's amazing.
Oh, well, we got the giggles. Well, I was going to say, well, we've got them. We'll keep the... This isn't actually really that much fun of a game. It's more of a negative thing where we go, can you not? Where I used to do this segment, can you not all the
Yeah.
time? I'm bringing it back.
Okay.
Everybody wants it. I'm bringing it back. Can you not? Coffee shop edition. Okay. Have you ever
Oh
seen...
yes, this is all. I
you-
can't wait for him to air this out.
Have you ever heard Nate Bargatze, or I don't know how you say it, the coffee order bit?
No, I'm sure I have, but go.
It's basically this, like how people can't just order a coffee with cream. They're like, oh,
Oh,
a
yeah.
macchiato, and they're like, no, just coffee with cream. Okay, so like, can you not? So I'm gonna go as a customer, but you go as an owner.
All right, great.
Like for me, I'm like, can you not just have regular sizes? Like, why is it either 16 ounce, 24 ounce, grande, venti? Like, why can't we just do small, medium, large?
So we do. So I say small, medium, large, but then a lot of people will be like, "Well, what's the size of the large?" I'm like, "Well, 20 ounces." So that's the other thing. And then honestly, a lot of people, because I think it's just a Starbucks thing. I really do. A lot of people come in, they have specialty coffee orders, but it's nothing like the foreign language that I hear in a Starbucks. And I love Starbucks, not shitting on it, but it's just like, I'll take a grande caramel macchiato, skim, almond, an extra shot of espresso,
foam.
and then no foam. And then can you please make that upside down? But then just put I don't like it fully to the cup. I need a little bit more room because sometimes I like to put too sweet and low, but make sure you put a one sweetener in there before you hand it, and then just take it off with the lid. And then if you could do I had one time someone come in, they were like, "Do you do latte art?" And I said, "Well, yeah." They're like, "Oh, okay, great." As if they weren't going to order anything unless we did
you
latte
did the art.
I'm like,
Wow.
damn, that's crazy. My art sucks though, so you know. I
Oh,
mean, it doesn't
try
suck.
so hard to do latte art, and I cannot.
I make a leaf that looks like, you know.
A leaf? That's
Yeah,
nice.
it's
Yeah, the leaf. It's the classic.
Yeah, it's I mean, it's an artistic view of what a leaf should look like, you know?
The beauty's in the eye of the beholder.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is your can you not? Like, what's something that just
You've got to tell them the story of the girl that came in a couple weeks ago.
I don't remember what story this
The
is.
one where she was like, but the Java coffee's better.
Oh no, it was just like some woman was sitting at the bar, and I don't even want to shit on her because she just seemed a little out there, but she was very sweet. But she was sitting there, and then I heard her talking to one of the baristas, and then it seemed like something might have been wrong. So of course I just kind of inserted myself. Oh, you're fine.
That's me. It was
real professional over here.
Wow.
It was probably her like time to end alarm.
Yeah,
Who puts an alarm on it?
Oh, Jared's talking about Audrey's. Time to end.
Put it on
It's
myself.
like playing the music at the Academy Awards. Oh, he's talking about Rob Thomas. But so she was just out of nowhere. So I inserted myself. I was like, "Hey, is everything? You know, how you doing? How is everything over here?" And she goes, "Not good." And I said, "Oh, what's wrong?" And she said, I don't like the dark roast coffee." And I said, "Oh, I'd love to I'm so sorry about that. I'll get you, what do you want? I'll get you something else. No worries." She's like, "Well, I only drink dark roast." And I said, "Oh, well," and usually people love our dark roast. So I was like, "That's so weird. What is it about it you don't like?" And then she was like, I just don't like it." And she's like, "Have you had Java, which is another coffee?" And I was like, "Java coffee?" And she goes, "Yeah." And I was like, "Yeah, I've had Java. I like Java." And she goes, "I love their dark roast." And I said, "Oh."
And you said, "Can you not?"
And then I was like, "Can you not?" Because I was like, there's nothing I can say.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh, I was like, I can make something else for you. Usually people love our dark roast." And she's like, have you ever considered carrying Java here?" And I said, "No, we use Generous." And then I was telling her the story about Generous. It's a nonprofit. Yeah. She's like, "Yeah, I just don't like it." And then I was like, "Okay." And then I was like, Oh, yeah. She was like, "I also love Mills." And I said, "We carry Mills. I have Mills coffee for you." I said, "We do their flavored coffee because Generous doesn't have flavored coffee." And she's like, "Well, I only like their French press." And I was like,
one of those people
all right,
that you just can't win.
I know. I was like, "I wish I could help. I will do it." I was like, "Do you want food?" She goes, "No,
I don't like
I'm not
that.
hungry." And I was
Food,
like,
I don't
"All
like
right." And
Goodbye.
then she was.
She didn't leave, though.
And then she left, and I was like, "Can you not?"
Yeah. That's a good can you
but
not?
It's so funny because, especially as you know, working in the hospitality industry,
Oh
like
my
you get some
gosh.
people in there that are just batshit crazy in the most lovable way. But because I love those customers, I love dealing with those customers because I
Really?
find it because I
I love a challenge.
I'm
Yeah.
very lucky to have a way with the way I interact with people. I feel like I'm able to talk to people.
That wasn't me.
And so, but it's so funny because my chef is not like that at all. He is like a back of house guy who just says what's on his mind.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Dude, I wish we could give a 10% discount to people come in who are just normal. You come in, you act normal, you're getting 10% off. You come in, you're an asshole, you're paying full price." You know? I was like, that's so funny.
That's a great idea, actually. I'll never forget guys that came in, like grown men in suits, asking me to cut up their chicken fingers for them. And I'd be like, gross. Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, some guys are
weird
gross. I remember
stories.
I worked at a bar. It was called Turtle Soup. It was in Narragansett. Shout out to my bartender, who's also manager. His name was Mike. He's my liquor rep now, Mike Devaney. Awesome dude. But there was a moment where, like, I wish I took, a learning lesson from it. And it's like a story that I'm going to tell Dawson of how he should act. There's two guys that came in, like two assholes, older guys, whatever. Came to the hostess. They wanted a table. It was outside. They're just grabbing beers. So the hostess brought him out to an outdoor table, and he like patted her on the ass saying thank you. So she came in. She's like 18, 19. She's in college. So she's kind of like a little shaken because she's like, I can't, like, that's crazy that just happened. She's like just shaken up about it. And then Mike was like, what's going on? And she told him the story. He went directly to the table. They just got their drinks. He grabbed their drinks and he said, "You guys got to get out of here."
Good.
And they were like, "What?" And he's like, "You guys, that's not allowed. You can't stay here."
Sexually harassed somebody.
And then he was like, they were like, "We just got our drinks. Let's just finish the drinks and then we'll get out of here." And then it was the best line ever. He goes, "Okay, fine. You can sit there, finish your drinks. But while you're finishing the drinks, I'm going to call the cops and then tell them what happened when they get down here. So you can either leave now or you can finish your drink and I'll call the cops." And they left. And I was like, "Dude, you're Batman.
Yeah.
You're Batman.
You are Batman." It was just like one of those moments where I'm like, that's That's
how
the
you
guy I
handle
want
a
to be
si-
like.
Yeah,
That's the guy I want to be
so
like.
cool.
Yeah.
You know?
Aw.
See, I would have handled that much differently. I would have just kicked him right in the nutsack.
Yeah,
probably-
I know.
they
like,
deserve that.
thrown
Right in
the
his
drinks
face.
in their face.
But at 18,
yeah.
that same thing happened to me as a hostess. I was 19 and I was like wiping my butt's moving as I do it. And that's what he said.
Yeah, I was about to say, is that how you wipe?
I was like,
What
wiping,
kind of joint did you work at?
I was wiping the whiteboard or the hostess stand. And he was like, I love watching your ass move like that from like the table. And I was like, I just froze. Like now, if somebody said that to me, I'd handle it much differently.
Yeah.
But like
Obviously.
at 19, I was like, okay. Like,
gosh,
oh my
yeah.
gosh.
But like, can you not compare our coffee to Dunkin' or the sizes? Like, they have what, a 32-ounce cup? It's ginormous. We don't have that. I'll never forget. Somebody came in. They were like, "What's your biggest coffee?" And I said, "Oh, we have a 24-ounce ice." And he was like, "That's it." He was like, "Dunkin' has twice that size," and I was like, "We're not Dunkin'. It's like we're just not like." No other small coffee shop has sizes like Dunkin' has.
Yeah.
For a reason, you know?
Right.
It's Dunkin'.
It's different coffee.
So can you not?
Yeah, good. Love it.
Can you not bring in your own food into the establishment that sells food? Because I had to put signs up. I had to put signs
did?
at doors saying no outside food and drink allowed. And because trivia night. So I host
Yes.
trivia. I do it Friday night. I love it so much. But obviously the reason I do it is because I want it to be busy and make money.
Yeah.
And so people are bringing in, and
college kids. They bring
college
in
kids.
Wendy's.
They bring in Wendy's or they bring in Pokey, and it's like, guys,
Yeah.
like you can't do that.
Yeah.
You know, and they come and order a coffee, and it's like, guys, you can't be here for 3 hours. Bring in outside food
And
and
then they
order
probably
a
don't
$4
tip.
coffee. Yeah, and they don't tip, and they don't spend money, and so I had to put signs up, and then I felt bad the other day. We have signs up that say no outside drink and food allowed, and then these two girls came in. They walked directly to a table, and they had 2 large Starbucks iced coffees. And I'm like, oh,
I
no.
know. Isn't that just the
So
most
like I'm
obscene
waiting
thing?
because they didn't come and order anything. So obviously I'm giving them a couple minutes because I'm like, I'm gonna give them a couple minutes to see if they like smarten up, and
Yeah.
they're like, oh, maybe we should put this away. We'll go get like food or like at least come up and buy something.
Yeah.
And then maybe I won't bust your balls too hard. They just sat there. They were very nice, and I went up to them and I was like, ladies, I'm so sorry. I can't have these in here. And they were like, oh my God, we're so sorry. They said they were like, Starbucks was closing at 2 today, so we had to take it out. I'm like, it wasn't, but that's fine.
Imagine
Doesn't
then they
matter.
asked for a selfie.
Probably. We love the show, but then I felt bad because even though I shouldn't feel bad, because then they were like, we'll just leave them in the car. And so
Yeah.
they took their Starbucks coffees, put them in the car, came back, sat down, and were there for like 2 more hours. And I was like,
And they
so
didn't order anything?
Didn't order anything.
Can you not,
I know.
ladies?
I know I've heard these stories before, and every time you say them, my jaw still drops.
Yeah, my jaw
People
dropped
are just-
hard. That's insane.
Well, one of the reasons why I love working in the restaurant industry is because you are introduced to so many different people. So I feel like
Yeah.
it has taught me, and I feel like it probably teaches a lot of people when you work in hospitality in any capacity, how to deal with different types of personalities and how to talk to people and how to, well, of course, still make fun of them endlessly, but understand. Be like, that's just, that's Cindy. She's Cindy.
Yeah.
She's going to come in. She's going to be Cindy. It's going to be annoying, but we'll all be fine. And she's fine.
That's a good outlook because by the end of my serving career, I was such a bitch. Like, you could not
I
do
get it.
anything right if you sat in my section. I was like the worst. And that's when I was like, I got to get out of here.
Yeah.
Go on TV.
I gotta be the Bachelorette or something.
I gotta go get on TV or something. I remember saying to my girlfriend, I was like, can't I just get on TV and like somehow make money from doing that? And she was like, doesn't work like that, Caitlin.
Could
And then I
you
was like,
imagine? Can you
And you're like, what a dummy.
Oh, I would just die to go and have that conversation on recording.
I was in Hawaii with
Yeah.
her this last week and she was like, you would.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, the universe just always has my back because I wasn't going to go on the show because it was her wedding. And she was like, are you really going to miss my wedding for season 19 of The Bachelor? And I was like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't do that. Like, I should choose my friend's wedding. Hurricane comes through Mexico, takes out where she's going to get married.
Oh, thank
Well,
God.
see you later.
I was like,
Thank God.
and I was like, and nobody was hurt. And it was just like a small little baby hurricane. And took out her wedding venue. And then I said, I'll see you when I'm back. And then I made her wedding.
There we go. Perfect.
What if
I
you
know.
didn't do the show because of a wedding?
Well, then I would probably, I don't know where I'd be. but it wouldn't be good.
I say the same about myself, honestly.
Oh, you'd be fine.
You think
Where
so?
where would you guys both be if you didn't have The Bachelor?
You'd be
I
working in
can't
news.
even start.
You graduated with your master's
Journalism.
from Syracuse at Newhouse. You would be
Yeah, you would
successful
be
in whatever
just
endeavor
fine.
you would take. Plus, you
I would be
you
married
were.
and divorced 3 times to hockey players
Oh, yeah.
with 3 kids.
Who would I have
You
found to
100%
marry, though,
would be,
babe?
and that would be so amazing. Be like, oh, this guy, he's on the Canucks or something.
I'd have to go settle for like the WHL, the AHL after a while. I'd be like, I've made my rounds.
Oh, now I'm going to Europe. I don't know what the hell I'm doing with my life.
She's already been to Europe.
Been there,
for
done that,
Yeah.
hockey player.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
never mind. Amazing. You'd be so. I have no doubt about you.
Well, thanks, babe, but I think I would be probably single.
No, you wouldn't.
Oh, but where would my life be without
Yeah,
you?
you guys
Oh,
would both
you-
be single if you didn't have each other.
Obviously.
I don't know. Jared would have married some girl that lives in like
Small town.
yeah, but like Pawtucket or like
But Cranston. I would have married Freda Felcher.
and then she would have like always like just black liner inside and outside.
That's
So
not.
specific.
No, yeah, he just like loves
No.
a heavy trashy eye.
No. I'm
You
not.
said this yourself.
I do, but
love
I
a
never
heavy-
said I would marry someone like
You
that.
said this yourself. You love a heavy, trashy eye.
Yeah. I do.
That's incredible. Okay,
Yeah.
so you'd be married to her, probably still running some sort of restaurant.
Probably. Yeah, I don't know. I'd probably be still working in restaurants. I don't know what I'd be doing, but also like I could see myself. I could have saw myself like going back to school like I did and graduating and then like becoming a
could have been
teacher,
a
or something
teacher.
like that.
Jared could have been a teacher.
I could see that. Well, thank you guys so much for bringing me out here. I can't wait to go tonight.
Just don't thank us. I'm
No,
honestly
seriously, don't
like
thank us.
I can't believe that you were so willing to be so kind.
What? I'm
come
obsessed
out
with
to-
you guys.
It's just like
Well,
it's
it's
just
very
like just
sweet,
to have
but-
just to take a plane ride and then like
First of all, take a plane from Nashville to Detroit, then Detroit to Providence.
exactly.
That was quite a route. And then
And it's not like peak season. Like if we were having you come during summer, then I wouldn't feel so guilty.
Guys, I'm so happy to be here.
Aw,
I would not say yes if I didn't want to come.
I know.
I
so,
want to be here.
It was so funny. We
you.
were talking about last night about how when we were at Harrison's wedding, Kaitlyn was like, I want to come to Audrey's. And I was like, Kaitlyn,
Like, if you say that,
I'm booking it. So like, don't tell me.
Yeah.
Don't
I
tell me.
meant it.
Yeah, I know.
And
It's
here
so
we
awesome.
are.
so sweet.
you know,
So
You
sweet.
really pulled it together so quickly too.
I'm very excited, and people seem to be very lovely. They're all DMing me.
it's gonna be a
and
madhouse.
I'm so excited.
But we'll have.
I
we'll make
love
sure.
getting weird, and I'm going to get super weird tonight
Yeah.
in the best way.
I'm Caitlin Bristowe. I'll see you next Tuesday.
See you next